Farming natural gas, it's a big thing right now.
Fracking for natural gas in Pennsylvania's Marcellus Shale is turning farm towns into boom towns.
We're not rich, but like I said, it's more money than we ever thought we could get anyplace else.
Total's probably 150,000.
150,000.
We met with folks in Hughesville, Pennsylvania, all who get royalties from natural gas wells on or near their property.
I have a fairly large amount of ground.
But most of the landowners we met were surprised by something we knew that they didn't. Numerous violations at wells on or near their land.
Here they are. Did you know about any of these violations?
No, not at all.
We had no idea there was any violations.
The state regulator, the Department of Environmental Protection, or DEP, isn't required to tell them, although it does post lists of violations online.
If there was violations going on, they should have notified the immediate landowners that joined these wells.
While many violations are minor for things like improper signage, others could be major, like improper cementing of a well. The DEP told us to find out which violations represent a threat to human health, we should check online. But we checked. That information isn't on their website. To get that information, we were told that, like landowners, we could make an appointment for a file review, but it would take weeks. We submitted that request.
We have outreach people in each county that go out.
Dave Yoxheimer researches drilling in the Marcellus Shale. The industry trade group, the Marcellus Shale Coalition, describes him as an independent expert. He says these are violations landowners should know about, violations that could be serious. But as we learned, it could take weeks to obtain any details on those violations. DEP records show 55 violations at the wells of the families we met with. The records also show 14 of those violations are still unresolved. Nearly half of their total violations were in Yoxheimer's serious category. We asked him to explain them to some of the landowners.
Ways to seal off any of that upward leakage of methane.
Neil Bartow wanted to know about 2 cementing violations at wells on his property.
I don't understand that part.
Neither of which has been fixed, according to online DEP records.
That's the cement that is placed around the outside of the steel casing that's designed to protect the groundwater and near-surface waters from having any potential to have methane migrate up.
Here's why that matters. According to the DEP, if a well is not properly cased and cemented, natural gas in subsurface formations may potentially migrate from the wellbore through bedrock and soil. This stray gas may adversely affect water supplies. Under certain conditions, stray gas has the potential to cause a fire or explosion. These situations present a serious threat to public health and safety, as well as the environment. DEP told us if a violation presents risk to human health, it notifies landowners. The landowners we met say they have never been contacted by the DEP or the well operator, Exco, about any well violations.
Who do you think should be telling you about violations?
I think the
DEP should be.
And the company. They could have walked over and said, hey, this is what's going on. This is a violation. We hope that it'll be resolved shortly. But they never said a word.
Yoxheimer makes clear not every serious violation means catastrophe.
Just because the cement wasn't properly placed doesn't necessarily mean you have a methane migration issue.
Crystal and Paul Falk's 5 wells have 23 violations, though they are not concerned.
We know that the information is on the DEP website, eFacts, and I feel I'm given the information, and it's my responsibility of what I do with that information.
And that's the position of the gas drilling industry.
If you're entering into a significant business relationship, one that that tens and tens of thousands of landowners have entered into with the natural gas industry, it is important to be up on the issues.
You know what DEP, the regulator, says is, look, we post all these violations online. Just go on your computer and look.
Everybody up here does not own a computer.
Do you have a computer?
No.
We don't have a computer either.
There are some folks that would say, look, Neil, you're making $150,000 off this.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility to go online and check for those violations.
This is probably true, but I don't have a computer. I'm not sure as hell going to buy one to check DEP.
DEP declined our interview request, but said the department is currently considering requiring operators to notify landowners of violations. EXCO, the current operator of the wells around the families we talked to, wouldn't agree to an interview, but emailed us saying they are setting the bar for transparency by proactive self-reporting, town hall meetings, manning a 24-hour hotline, and online disclosure. But all the violations didn't happen on EXCO's watch. Until 2 years ago, another company, Chief Oil and Gas, operated some of the wells. Chief told us none of the violations on its wells rose to the level of notifying landowners.
What was it, 40-some tractor-trailer loads of equipment they moved in?
Yeah.
And to be clear, folks here want the drilling to continue.
I think it's a wonderful thing what they're doing for the area. I'm not going to stand in the way of progress.
But they may be asking a few more questions as it does. Poppy Harlow, CNN Money, Hughesville, Pennsylvania.